Hey guys, what's going on? We are back in the shop for part 2 of our upload of what we're doing for our big mod for the car. This is going to be the second biggest mod that we're doing. We are already got the car up in the air. Basically we are going to remove all of the exhaust. We are putting headers and a full cap back on. So underneath the car still has factory manifolds, the piping, and then it has this little H-pipe and then some looks like MagnaFlow mufflers. So we are basically about to get started. We're going to cut them off and get them over the axle and go ahead and start removing this exhaust, because we have our full cap back in this box right here and our set of BZK long tube headers right there, which will get opened up in a little bit. We got to get all this stuff out first, so we are going to get to cutting. Whew. It's a workout. It's almost there. All right, one side down, one to go. All right, so we got the one over the axle off. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll bolt it up here where the H-pipe is. And for mine, looks like I got 18s. So we're gonna go ahead and start taking those off, and then we're gonna work from, I guess, forward from there. All right, so we're just wiggling these loose and getting them off the exhaust hangers up here, like so. And I believe, looking through the box, kind of briefly looked through it, all of the new cat back and headers come with all the new bushings and grommets and everything. So I believe I'm not reusing any of this, but we're gonna go ahead and just lay it all out, and that way we have access to it if we need it to redo anything. These do not want to come off, so give me a second and I'll try to get it off, and then pick you back up once we get it. All right, sorry guys, I knocked the hat off, but we are lowering the car back down and taking the wheels off because we have to disconnect the sway bars, and basically we're dropping the K-member down. We're going to move that completely out of the way, that way we can access the exhaust manifolds and start taking all that stuff down. We already got half of the exhaust cut out and on the ground. We got those two sensors loosened up, and we're basically just going to work on getting all this stuff out and keep going. Alright, so the next thing that we did, we have to remove the calipers, and we're just going to let them hang up here just where they're out of the way. Our calipers are weird. We have like this, I'm not really sure exactly why they did it like this. We just took off the two bolts that hold the actual bracket itself in with that, so this whole thing is just going to come off like so. So we're going to find a way to secure that, get like zip ties or something to put it up here. But another thing that we have to do, the ABS sensor, the wheel speed sensor, we went ahead and disconnected that from the bottom of the rotor area, like where the hub is. That is a 1/4 inch socket, real small, so you just disconnect that, pull it out of the way. And you also have to disconnect the top of the shock. We lowered the car down. Oops. We lowered the car down, and if you have factory shocks, you are going to have, I'll show you in a second once I get this secured. But if you have factory shocks, you're going to use like a crescent wrench and an Allen flathead screwdriver and loosen them. We have aftermarket shocks. We have to replace these because ours were bad. So I'll show you how we take ours off. But basically, we're just getting all of the stuff on the sides of the vehicle out of the way, because we're going to have to drop all the stuff whenever the K-member comes down. So we're going to get this stuff secured and then get the car up the rest of the way and show you what we're doing from there. Alright, so we have all of the front suspension disconnected. So as you can see on ours is aftermarket. We just have two little notches on each side, and a 10mm wrench can hold on to that, and then the nut that actually spins onto that. You just take them and work them opposite of each other. On the factory struts, it's just going to be one circle with a cut in the middle, and you have to take a flathead screwdriver and twist it. We played hell trying to get that loose. That was not fun the first time. So since we recently just put these shocks on, these weren't too hard to take off. But you take that part off, you pull your calipers off, the wheel speed sensor, which goes right down in here, you disconnect that, and the sway bar, and then basically you just collapse the shock a little bit, and this whole thing is laying down. It is just resting on the tie rod and the lower ball joint So we did that on this side. We got the sensor secured, we got the brake caliper secured, and same thing over here on this side. Everything's disconnected, ready to go. So we're gonna pick the car back up in the air and work on disconnecting the rest of the exhaust. All right, so from now, I believe we're gonna work on dropping the K-member. We're gonna have 2 bolts right here on the back. Up on the front, we're gonna have 1 bolt on the side of the spring. There's gonna be another bolt on the side of that spring. And then I believe, I don't know, hold on. We're gonna keep following our instructions that we're watching because there's a bunch of bolts and stuff. We're basically trying to drop this whole cradle just so we can get access to the exhaust manifolds, which are right up here. So give us a second, we'll just follow the steps and show you what we did. All right, guys, it is the next morning. We're up here, it is Saturday. We're continuing work on the car. We made a lot of progress yesterday in our short time, but what we're doing now is right through where the K-member is, right to the front of the springs. There's a hole in there, and that's where the motor mounts are, and that's for that, so we're taking those off. And underneath the car, we have already disconnected our power steering lines, so that's draining now. So basically, once we get that motor mount nut loose, we're going to take out the 6 or 8 bolts for the K-member, drop the K-member down, and we're good to start pulling out the exhaust. All right, guys, it's really hard to film whenever everything that we're trying to work on keeps breaking. So we've been struggling off camera a whole lot. The car is not done, but we do have to leave for the day because sales is about to wrap up, so I have to get to a stopping point. We have the headers on, the subframe's connected, the suspension's all back together, so it's good to sit back on the ground and roll because more than likely, since it is Saturday, come Monday, whenever I'm back at work, I'm probably gonna have to push the car out until we get done with it. But I'm going to lift it back up and show you what we have going on, just so you can see where we got to on this point, because I was hoping to have it at least done. But on the top end, everything's good. Well, while it's going up, what do you have to say about today?
I'm done with the car. I don't want to touch it anymore.
I told her it was going to be rough. I think she knew that it was going to be rough, but she didn't know it was going to be that rough. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We've got the headers on, so the most problematic part is done. But our issue was, let me grab my flashlight just so I can show you all better. So of course you got to drop the subframe to get to everything. So we got all the suspension disconnected, all that's good. Well, back here on the back, we have the EGR that goes right up here where the header, on top of the header. The EGR on the factory manifold was stuck. They said it's going to be a pain to get off. We tried fighting, PB blasted it. We tried everything we could. We could not get it off, so I actually had to cut it. So we have to find a cap. I know they make like the EGR delete kits. We have to find a cap to put over that because right now there's a big exhaust leak. And then we had to make little custom extensions for our O2 sensors. I didn't know if we would need them or not. I tried stretching them out, but unfortunately they were not long enough. So I had to make my own, which no big deal. We have the soldering gun and everything here. So we got those done.
I soldered it.
Yeah, Kaylee soldered some. Kaylee soldered one. So if we ever have an issue later on in the future, this is going to mark this. If this one ever has any failures, it's because she did it. So
take that out of the
nope, that's gonna be noted. So we have our X pipe down there. It does have the high flow cats on it. That would be the next piece that's going up, and then the rest of the exhaust has to get pieced together. We still have to transfer over the O2 sensors and stuff, but we just ran out of time. So the headers are on. Basically, we just have to figure out how to either basically how to cap that EGR, and then up top we're going to make a little plate for it to just block it off, delete it all together. So yeah, that, and then just the struggle of actually doing the headers, trying to get the subframe line back up, everything. The car had some kind of like X-bar cross member type deal on it, and that didn't line up with the headers after we were trying to get everything back together. So once again, that was another issue. We had to remove that because on all the videos we were watching, everybody has headers. They don't have that pipe that goes from right here over this and right there, and it was hitting on our header, which was causing our clearance issues, so we couldn't get the K member back together. So of course, if it's not one thing, it's the other. It sucks that we weren't able to get it back down. I did give her a little cold start just to hear what it sounded like with open headers. And it's obnoxious. It's stupid loud. I'll probably maybe get a video of it Monday whenever I go to crank it up, if I try to move it, if I'm just going to drive it out or what. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. We will pick you back up once we're able to get the rest of the exhaust put back on, and then give you a proper cold start with the headers, cat back, full exhaust, what have you. So sorry I didn't really go like planned. Like I said, it's hard to be the main one working on everything. Kaylee's learning. I'll give her credit. Sorry, she's giving me some funny looks.
Yeah.
Kaylee's learning, but I know how all this stuff works.
I did have to go get that aftermarket BBK X-Pipe from Mark, so I wasn't here a part of it either.
Yeah, she wasn't here for part of it, but I mean, I've done this before. I've done this kind of work before. I know the struggles and stuff, so it's harder for me being the one trying to lead, I guess I should say. That sounds fair. The one trying to lead the installation and film everything, just because there's so many awkward positions and stuff. I just can't get it all on camera, and even if I did, it wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, we'll get it finished up hopefully on Monday, and then we'll see how it sounds. So sorry it wasn't the most detailed video. Like I said, it's a nightmare to do. If you are thinking about putting headers on your SN95, honestly, it'd be worth whatever the shop is going to charge you to put them on.
Yeah.
I mean, I work in a shop and I wouldn't want to put these on myself again. But you know, it is what it is. We're already done with it, so I guess that's that's good enough for us. But that's going to be it for this one. We'll catch y'all guys later.
Peace.